Do you have an old folding tray table tucked away in your closet somewhere? Don't get rid of it just yet. First things first, removing the tray table top. Depending on your tray table, you may be able to easily remove the top with an Allen wrench. I ended up needing to loosen the hardware with a paint scraper and a screwdriver, and eventually pulling out the bolt with some pliers. Set the tray table top aside. It's perfect for another project down the road, so don't toss it. Next, grab your spray paint and give the tray table base a fresh coat. Once dry, take a look at the frame. You'll notice there's a support rod missing. Measure and mark the gap between the legs, and then cut a wooden dowel rod to that exact size. Once the painted legs are dry, glue the dowel rod between the legs using wood glue or a strong construction adhesive. Now we're headed for a luggage rack moment. But instead of buying fabric or drapery trim for the straps, how about repurposing some guitar-style crossbody bag straps? You will need 3 of these. They come in tons of colors and patterns. Aiming for the center of the rack, clip it around the dowel rods on the tray legs, then slip it around so the clip ends are on the underside of the unit. Now, straps like to slide, so it's a good idea to lock them in place. Take an upholstery tack and press it through the strap fabric. Tap the tack lightly into the wood. Remove the strap and drill a small pilot hole where that mark is. Replace the strap back over the hole, add the tack again, and tap it all the way into the wood so it's secure. And that's it. This little luggage rack folds flat for easy storage and gives any guest room a gorgeous functional spot to set down a suitcase. I hope this inspired you to create your own guest room luggage rack by repurposing an old folding tray table and crossbody bag straps.
This is not your grandma's TV tray. To get started, take the tray outside and sand down the legs to refresh the wood and remove any rough surfaces. For the top, I'm using an orbital sander to create a smooth surface for painting. I'm going for a neutral look with Ash and Raw Silk Mineral Paint, rolling it on the top and sides with end-to-end strokes for a flawless, professional finish. Once dry, I'll add a custom touch with a stenciled pattern. The secret to a sharp image is using a nearly dry brush, tap the paint through the stencil, overlapping the pattern along the edges until the entire surface is covered. Since this will be used for drinks, I'm protecting the new design with a natural finishing oil, wiped back with a rag. The result is a stunning side table that blends perfectly with modern decor. However, that's just one example. Here's more. Try painting the legs black or adding wood slats for a vintage crate look that works as a desk extension or an oversized coaster. This coffee-themed side table looks gorgeous as an accent piece holding my plants and is also perfectly themed to serve up my coffee. If you make over your TV trays in tones that work with any room in your home, you will have so many fun opportunities to switch them out in different spaces.
I found this TV table that's kind of in rough shape. I need to clean it up and sand down any of these rough edges and get a little bit of the shine off there so I can paint it. I'm also using this kind of outdated nightstand. I'm just going to use one of the drawers. I'll first need to take off the handle and the metal hardware on the side. I'm going to clean it up and get any of the residue off of it, sand it down a little bit, and get it ready for paint. I'm painting the folding table a soft gray with a matte finish. This is going to take a couple coats, so I'm just going to do a light coat for now, and then I'll come back and do another light coat. I'm giving the handle, which is kind of this mixture of wood and metal, a nice coat of a metallic bronze color. For the drawer, I am adding a white chalk paint. Because I am adding a light color over a dark color, this is going to take a couple of coats. Again, just using a really light coat, letting it dry for about 20 minutes, and then coming back and adding more coats until I have the coverage that I want. This is going to be an indoor plant stand for me, so there's no need to seal or protect any of these painted pieces. So I'm going to place the drawer right on top of the folding TV stand, and I do need to secure it. This drawer actually slips really nicely right on top of that top of the TV stand, so I'm just going to use some wood glue to adhere it. If you're making one of these at home, you may want to add some screws in depending on how the drawer fits on top of the stand. Now it is ready for plants. So the first thing I'm going to do here is take a thick plastic bag and I'm going to cut it down to size. This is going to line the bottom of the drawer. I want to be able to water my plants, and if any of that water comes out the bottom, it's not going to damage the wood in the drawer. And then the nice metallic hardware adds back on with just the 2 screws. Now it's time to add some plants. This is the fun part. I've gathered up a number of plants from around my house that are going to look really good together. This is a pretty deep drawer, and so I'm using some pieces that'll add some height. So I can put some larger plants in the back and some smaller ones in the front. I'm even adding a faux plant in here, which is totally fine. You could fill the whole thing with faux plants if you wanted. That was a really simple and straightforward project, making a plant stand out of some thrifted furniture.
Do you have various baskets that have accumulated in your home? These are always good for storage, but they are also good for upcycled home decor. Find a basket that is rectangular in shape. Take a bit of strong twine and push it through a space in the weave of the basket, about 1/3 of the way in on the long side. Tie the twine in a knot close to the top edge of the basket. Then create a loop by tying another knot in the twine about 1 inch above the edge. Using a straight edge and a level, lightly draw a line on the wall. Hammer 2 hooks into the wall using the level line as your guide. Now hang your basket on the wall. Since this is in our garage, I am storing lawn bags, grocery bags, and umbrellas for spring and summer. Then, when colder weather hits, this will be the perfect place to toss scarves, hats, and gloves. Find a round basket tray at home or at a thrift store. Then grab one of those inexpensive wire waste baskets at the dollar store. You want the circumference of the basket to be similar to the widest part of the waste basket. Take some twisted rope from the dollar store and start to wind it around the outer edge of the waste basket, hot gluing the edge as you go along. Continue to wrap and glue the rope to the waste basket until the entire basket is covered. You can leave the bottom of the basket clear. As you glue, gently press down on the rope so it lines up alongside the previously glued rope. Now take your round basket tray and apply a line of hot glue. Place the basket on top of the rope-wrapped waste basket, whether for storage or for a buffet display. This is a great way to hold plates or napkins for entertaining. Remember those old tray tables from the 80s? You can find them at thrift stores. I found one tucked away in our garage. Give the tray table a coat of paint in the color of your choice with some spray paint. Be sure to spray the legs and underside of the tray table as well. Find another basket that is roughly the same size as the top of the tray table, but a rectangular shaped basket will work best. Apply some hot glue to the top of the painted tray table and place the tray basket on top, pressing down until the glue dries. Style your new basket tray table with the decorating magic number of 3 items. Try a stack of books, a green plant, and a decorative object.